Hey everybody, here's a video from the recent seminar I just did at the Colorado Police Canine Conference. This dog and handler are running a blind search. They're going to search 2 rooms. In this search, there is an elevated hide. I actually put a large amount of cocaine up in the ceiling tiles, which is approximately 12 feet above as far as height goes. Now, again, the team has no idea what's in here, if there's anything in here. They have to be able to read their dog and trust what the dog tells them. Watch this search, listen to what they say as they are working it out, but this is a great example of being able to read your dog. And if you can read your dog and know what your dog's telling you, you can also then decide how you want to reinforce. But the big point I want to share with everybody is the importance of reality-based training, getting yourself ready to do the job for real. So here we go. Room 4, which is right there, and then 5 connects through 4.
Okay.
So when you're in 4, you'll see the door for 5, and you'll go do this too.
Down. No, down. Fine.
Conversation from today means for you, Parker. Anytime that I come to training, we're just gonna run a full thing of fucking blanks. But you won't know if it's the blank or the hot.
So right here, the dog is showing interest. It's up high, and it's right above his head in this area right here. The handler can read that there's something going on, but doesn't quite trust what they see at the moment, and I don't blame them. But the dog has now repeatedly gone high in that corner. And remember, this is hindsight. Being able to see this after the fact, everything looks more clear. But in the moment, it's hard to know whether or not is my dog trying to tell me something, or is it just interested in other things. But right here, you can see the dog has jumped up on the desk. He's going to adjust his camera coming up. It kind of hangs lower on him. The dog again goes down to that corner area. But to not cue the dog or to not stay in a spot for too long, the handler made the decision to move on to the next room and see what happens over there.
Make sure nothing connects.
He's going to adjust the camera here in a second. Again, like I said, it's pointed down. Here you go.
Fine.
There's not a lot of options to hide in this room visually to look at. Obviously, no furniture. So they work through the thought process. When he comes into this corner right here and he goes to the cardboard box, that's actually shell casings in there that he doesn't know. His dog is not a firearms dog. It's just a distracting odor in there. The dog does a good job of saying there's something different here, but then ignores it and moves on.
No, this door's open.
Yeah, I'm just saying, did you be able to check behind the door? Like it fit? Okay. Just think Tom Hanks. That's all I think all the time.
Right.
I feel the
There's just so many outlets in here.
Now you're going to see the dog throughout the space start jumping up, casting up higher, because with the door open to the previous room where the hide is at, it is drifting. Now, there was a barrier in the ceiling blocking off room 4 from room 5, but clearly there is a level of odor still drifting through the ceiling, which is getting the dog to cast up high.
Do not enter room.
How are you reading this further?
Well, he likes high over there. That first outlet he was even kind of chomping on, but he hasn't gone back to it whatsoever. So I don't know if he's just getting angsty. Maybe in that vent, just pushing out in every direction. He's doing a decent job not trying to find
he's
people.
Working, so I just let him keep
Right.
working. But I'm reading very similar to you, where like there's either confusion as to where it is, and oftentimes because high highs for us have been a confusion point.
Right.
I feel like that's what he reverts to. Like if he can't put nose to source.
The dog is trying to communicate, hey, I smell it high, but I don't have anything to pinpoint, so the dog is picking some outlets.
Like I want to call this room in the ceiling.
But just not know. Yeah.
Just like I. Up high. Wherever it is. Like if this was a search warrant, I'd be like, all right, start taking tiles down.
Great decision making by the handler, making out good observations. The dog goes back into the space, back down to that room at the end, right where it's at. The dog is doing wonderful at telling Dad, hey, there's something over here. Even coming up is going to go into a full alert, but the handler's not quite sure the exact location. And the trap that we fall into is we expect the dog to give us a perfect indication no matter how difficult a hide is. And making that the criteria can sometimes bite you in the butt. Now, this team did a really good job, but a lot of other teams expect perfection, and you can't necessarily get the perfect kind of indication in the real world. There's too many things that kind of get in the way, kind of like what you see happening here. But overall, the dog is doing a magnificent job of telling the handler it's right up here. The handler is also doing a really good job of letting his dog work. I know for some of you, it's always painful seeing it in, like I said, hindsight version 2020. The handler's just reading his dog and trying to be sure. That right there, fantastic. Great job by the dog. The handler still being a little unsure. The dog's not committing as good as it would normally do.
It's high. But he just, like, he worked that last one, that last shelf, like deep in the corner, under, came out and back around. So like top corner of that last one.
Yeah.
The more you expose yourself to this kind of situation, the better you're going to be at reading your dog and trusting what the dog is telling you. And that's a major lesson learned by this team.
Like the cubicle is in this room.
If anything, I would say like up high cabinet in this like corner post, because come on, man, like because he's trying to get under, he's trying to get around, so like inside that corner post would be my call here.
I love how the sergeant there helps him out by moving the cabinet.
And I'm going to give your dog room to work.
Because the top of that post is open.
Okay.
So I would say in the top of that post, maybe. I don't know if he likes this just because it's...
Hardcore.
Yeah. You know, the gaming part of me says there's a piece of tape on the front, and so they didn't open that.
Right.
And I can't see anything on top, but...
Well, I'll let you be the one to call it, but
Well, yeah.
at this point he's exhausted
Yeah,
himself.
he's getting gassy. Literally. Ew.
So, as you can see, the dog did a wonderful job. When they came out and debriefed with me, they said what they said in the video there. They believed it was at the top of the desk, somewhere in that corner, maybe the ceiling area, but weren't sure. Again, put yourself in these tough situations and get better and better at reading your dog. Make your training look more like reality and not so much like training, and you'll have great results like this team did here. Challenge yourself, accept those difficult times. Even if it doesn't work out in your favor, you still learn lessons. We'll see you guys in the next video.